Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Jamin's Daily. Jamin here, your host, and we're in a new and improved, upgraded studio. As you can see from behind me, put in some soundproofing. Did it all myself. I have the spray adhesive on my hands to show for it. It only took me a day or two. Just a note to the folks at home, if you're ever using spray adhesive, it gets everywhere. Wasn't expecting that. So you're spraying it, putting it on the back of this phone, putting it on the wall, and then I realized the floor is sticky. Everything around me is getting this white film that you have to scrub off. So I got it. The worst was it fell onto the screen of my phone, and that was a pain in the butt having to clean. But new and improved. We're working things out, guys, to elevate Jamin's Daily to a world-class podcast, folks. Okay, so we're working our way up. You know, baby steps. Rome wasn't built in a day. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get into some Yahoo headlines, one of our favorite segments here on Jamin's Daily. And the other thing about this studios haven't incorporated, completely changed it up. It used to be an office with computers and things in it, and when I would do some of these Yahoo headlines, I would have a computer like right behind me that I could read off of. Well, you know, go check it out, go check them out. Okay, now I don't have that, so I'm gonna have to be looking at my phone here and there. So I'm gonna try to figure out the best angle for doing that. So we're gonna find out. But to start, and you know, I know these are the first YouTube videos, and so we have 50 other videos, folks, on Podbean and anywhere else that you find podcasts. So iTunes, iHeartRadio. I did a Google search of just Jamin's Daily, and it showed up on. There was this website that's an aggregator for podcasts that it picked it up. So you can find it. Just Google Jamin's Daily or go to Facebook and look up Jamin's Daily. And you can find our catalog. And one of a topic would be, or segment is Yahoo headlines. And when you go over Yahoo headlines, like right now I'm looking at it, other than you have the thumbnail headline, which you can scroll through. They normally give you about 5 or 6 different thumbnails and headlines, but then below that is the scroll. Look, we'll show it. Can we show it? I don't know. We're gonna learn on YouTube what we can and can't do. So there's the scroll, right? There's the headline, and then there's the scroll. Number one on the scroll, folks, at the very top. It's not number one. It's just what's showing up. Elizabeth Hurley, 55. It's funny how they always put the age. Doesn't matter if she was 21, but at least that's what I've noticed. Maybe I'm wrong. But Elizabeth Hurley, 55 years old, flaunts her figure in low-cut purple swimsuit. And again, it's clickbait. I already fell for it once. Gonna fall for it again. It says Dream Woman Alert. And it's a photo. What's funny about this photo, she's taking a selfie, but she's got this really funny claw hand holding the phone. It's not her best work, to be honest. She's been on Yahoo. There's a number of these celebrities, and we're going to get to them. But some get more publicity than others. But Elizabeth Hurley is this one, and I think she must have a content deal with Yahoo because she owns a swimwear. So she's always on Yahoo. They're not paid. It's an organic, just on the feed. So it's not a paid inclusion. But of her wearing bikinis, of basically wearing, you know, bikini tops. See her how she looks in a bathing suit, okay, which is very good at 55. And she's always looked good in a bathing suit, probably for the last 40 years, okay? So looking at it now, we're going to put a photo up. We're going to also integrate that, which we're going to continue to do this. I hadn't been doing it as much, folks, because it takes a lot of time to put in the picture-in-picture. So when we're talking about, here's Elizabeth Hurley. I'm going to try to find this photo that I'm talking about, put it on the actual screen, picture in picture, for the folks at home who are watching, especially now on YouTube, which is nice. On the same uh, clickbait, there's an Instagram of her frolicking in the water in some Caribbean beach, probably. Basically in her underwear. She's wearing a bathing suit. If you're in a bathing suit, you're basically in your underwear, but around water, supposedly. And we're going to find out. So this is going to be a recurring theme today on the headlines, Yahoo headlines, but it's a recurring theme every single day. Nothing but clickbait. Woman shares. Here's one relating to business. As you can see, we do business around here. Women shares boss's jaw-dropping response to her raise request. So, folks, half of getting ahead in life is asking. You gotta ask for things sometimes. Don't be afraid to be told no. All right, you gotta ask. Women on TikTok are sharing the most blatantly sexist encounters they have ever experienced in a new trend, and the result is harrowing. Oh, now that the epitome of truth is gonna be had right. This we're gonna believe all women. Every blatantly sexist encounter that we're gonna read on TikTok, surely. Are we? Isn't this kind of unfair when you only hear one side? So we're getting their side, which is entertaining to read, and it's on the podcast. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt. The now viral movement was started by TikToker Mandy Elise, who shared an infuriating anecdote on October the 23rd about a negative shopping experience with her fiance. Ladies, what's the most blatantly sexist thing a man has said to you? She begins her TikTok, which has since been viewed over 719,000 times. I'll go first. 700. If it's not even a million, does it make Yahoo? So she did something and not even a million people looked at it. But if it's a narrative that Yahoo wants to present, and it's makes for a pretty good. It's kind of interesting, actually. The user continues to explain that one day she was at a store looking for some fancy new shirts with her soon-to-be husband. When the pair headed to the checkout, a male employee began ringing the two of them up while providing crucial care instructions for the garments. When I shop and I buy things, don't normally get crucial care instructions. That's not normally part of the process, but apparently I'm not buying the right kind of garments. As she's scanning them, he's saying, make sure you take good care of these. Make sure you wash them in cold water. Make sure you hang them you hang them. I think this is a misspell. Make sure you hang them to dry and make sure you iron them. And who was that man looking at when he was explaining these washing instructions? Not my fiance, not the fiance. He was looking at me. Oh, the sexist, you should do the laundry trope. Oh no. It sparked anger, folks. The TikTok sparked anger, with hundreds of women flocking to the comments to share their own experiences with sexism. Here's one. My former boss at a cafe once told me to always use the calculator when someone pays in cash because I'm a woman, so I can't do math. That's just, half of things that are sexist, we have all these specific categories for things. But if you break it down, they fall under just rudeness, being rude, and having no manners. It starts there, and then you can break it down the different types of rudeness, in which sexist is one of them. This is a rude thing to say. Women can do math. I mean, what are we talking about? Like complicated calculus and physics here, or are we talking about like adding numbers with a calculator? Come on now. My dad told me to do dishes, and I said, let the boys do it. And he's like, you're a girl, and it's your job. Don't embarrass my boys by making them do dishes. Here's another one. My mom came home from work yesterday and said that her boss told her, you're very reasonable for a woman. Ooh, so sexist. This is what they call and classify as first world problems. So people these are also, we're talking about the classifications of things. This is, I guess, under microaggression. Is that a microaggression or is it above? I need somebody who knows more about that chime in. You can reach me, folks, at jaminsdaily@gmail.com. Or you can comment, please. Comment, share, smash the like. All right, I've learned these from other creators. Like, share, smash that like button. Share it with your friends. Okay, folks? Find us on iTunes or any other podcast and follow us. Moving on. A gym trainer exposed 50 athletes to COVID-19, but no one got sick because one member is a ventilation expert who redesigned the room's layout. So listen, folks, you know what? If you know how to design a room, you can cure COVID. You know what? I think this probably YouTube video is probably going to get demonetized and throttled because I said cure COVID in sequence. And you're not supposed to say that, probably. But we're going to learn as we go. Who knows? A Virginia gym managed to avoid a coronavirus outbreak after a coach was infected. While at least 50 people were exposed to the virus, no one else got sick. That's in part because Dr. Lindsey Marr, an expert in airborne viral transmission, is a member of the gym, and he worked with the owner on gym policies to reduce the risk for athletes there. So you hear it, folks, here on Jamin's Daily. It's the ventilation is key. Okay? You don't want a ventilation system that is sucking up people's germs and then throwing them on you. Okay? Those germs need to be thrown somewhere else, away from your face. Do you really want to go a place where people are working out and doing this? That doesn't make sense, folks. You know, if you decide to go to a gym in November 2020, there's a risk you're going to get COVID. You cannot reasonably expect to go to a gym and then if you get COVID, then blame anybody else but yourself. Okay? That's how that works. In here at Jamin's Daily, my opinion. But hey, great. This guy, obviously, we spend probably billions of dollars right now, $1 trillion on COVID stuff, and this guy probably has the solution here. We need to find a way to completely ventilate the world from COVID, and then everything will be back to normal. Southern Charm, some show on TV. Don't watch it. But there's a lady on this show. Her name is Madison LaCroix. And here's back to the clickbait, folks. Southern Charm's Madison LaCroix shows off results of breast enhancement surgery. Ooh. Hard-hitting news here. And it's a nice photo. She's a blonde. It's somewhat, tasteful. There's another video of her, though, on this clickbait of her, I guess, on the operating table, getting ready. I don't know if that's pre-op or post-op. It's just showing her face, so it doesn't really matter. But it says here, after going under the knife at the end of October to get breast implants, the Southern Charm star, who's 30, told you, always says their age, showed off her enhanced chest while wearing a low-cut baby blue crop top on Instagram in a post she cheekily captioned, "Blooming. Oh, yes. Like spring, love is in the air." That's nice. Hopefully we'll find the photo of this one too. Get some eye candy, folks. For everybody. Everybody likes different types of candy. So, I'm not really, I like chocolate more than candy, to be honest. But, moving on. 2 in a row, folks. 2 clickbaits in a row. So they'll go with some news, then total celebrity gossip, then some different kind of news here on Yahoo headlines, and then they'll hit you with just some clickbaits in a row. And I'm wondering, because this is all, they must know that I'm a man, and so they're hitting me up with all these clickbaits with attractive women. I wonder how, I need to get a lady in here and who uses Yahoo on her phone and scrolls and see what her feed looks like compared to mine, and what kind of clickbait they use on her compared to me. And then we can, compare, contrast, do some higher end thinking here. Emily Ratajkowski, I think that's how you say it, flaunts baby bump in bikini pics. So see, listen, this lady doesn't even, she's like a bikini model. This is, when I show this to people, they're going to laugh because she's pregnant in this photo, and this woman is extremely thin. So when she's pregnant, I can understand why she doesn't look very pregnant because she's so tiny. It's hilarious. It looks like on this photo where she's pregnant, it looks like she just drank a 6-pack of beer, to be honest. But good for her. I hope she has a very I no doubt the child's gonna be good looking. I bet her husband's good looking. She's good looking. Good looking people have good looking kids. It's kind of how it works. Moving on, folks. Moving on. A Bay Area, in the Bay Area. Here, if you're wondering, for the folks at home, or just joining us, maybe you just stumbled across us on YouTube. One, to let you know, on our YouTube channel, we're going to be putting up new content one day, followed by the next day is going to be a previously recorded podcast that had not been uploaded to YouTube. It had just been, on iTunes, a podcast. But this is a vlog. This is a video podcast. It's not just, we're gonna just put out the audio, but with some of the stuff we're doing, especially like on these hot Yahoo headlines, we're gonna try to incorporate and put in the videos or the photos I'm working on right now. I'm hoping maybe we'll do 3 or 4 of these episodes in this setting and then upload the previous podcast. But then here soon, folks, we're gonna have an overlay, which if you're familiar with watching stuff on YouTube, a lot of these content creators, it's them talking and then they have this overlay, this box thing where it has different things in there. I'm gonna set it up to where I'll be right here talking, and then over here will be the headlines that we're talking about, so we can see them together. It's gonna be massive improvement on the production of the show, and it's coming. I've promised. If you watch all the videos, you will see that there's improvements of sorts. So we're getting there day by day. Let's find another juicy headline on the interwebs. So, folks, on the internet, when you say things, which I'm doing now, I try to be, somewhat witty, and I'm trying to get to the edge of controversial, to the edge of controversy. I live on the edge, folks, here at Jamin's Daily. We live on the edge. We're trying to get to that edge and not cross it, okay? Because this is the internet. Whatever you say is out there forever, okay? Forever. That would be, I wonder if we could get fair usage of that from the Soundlot. Forever. See, that's when production kicks in. We're going to have that in. Oh my God. You see, that's how my mind works while I'm creating here, guys. Bay Area school board president resigns due to Trump supporting wife's racist comments about Kamala Harris. So listen, you don't even have to say it. It might be your spouse, and then you have to quit your job. How terrible is that? A San Francisco Bay Area school board president has resigned from his duties following racist comments from his wife aimed at Kamala Harris. According to a report from a regional Bay Area NBC outlet, John Venverlo announced his resignation from Los Lomitos Elementary School District in Menlo Park on Sunday. Earlier that same day, his Trump-supporting wife, identified in the report as Meredith Phillips Venverlo, shared a number of posts about Harris, including comments later described as being part of her reprehensible views not shared by John. In a tweet, for example, Meredith said of Harris, all she needs to be qualified is a black crude term for female genitalia. No brain needed. So, what is strange in this situation is here's this man, he's the principal of a school. He must not be aware of his wife's social media activities. And should we be? That's one thing. How aware are you of your significant other's posts? Because the activity, you don't really keep up with their day-to-day, what they're like, just things like that. But what are they specifically posting? And that conversation could have been had and be like, listen, wife, listen, Meredith, you can't say these things because it could cost me my job. Okay? And ultimately, you can say whatever you want. It's a free country. Okay, folks? And it's a shame that this man loses his job over something somebody else said, which is ridiculous and shouldn't be the norm. And we should actually fight against it. He should not resign. Obviously, he loves his wife more than his job, because by resigning, he's not basically picking. He should have said, listen, I'm going to keep my job, fight for my job, and I disavow and disown my wife for saying what she said. You know, he would have to have, like, divorce her, throw her under the bus, don't tell her how long they've been married, and then because she says mean things on the internet, he loses his job. I don't know, folks. It's a slippery slope. It's not a good thing to do. It's not a good way to go. Moving on. So, here's some more. And, I don't know how it's going to work on YouTube. On Facebook, I had to jump through some hoops in order to post the podcast with some political content, which nowadays everything is political. So here's an article. Cuomo. Just because I say a politician's names, it gets flagged as political speech. Cuomo, the governor of New York. That one's what Cuomo is saying. Andrew. So Governor Andrew Cuomo apparently had thoughts about what he would like to have done to President Donald Trump if he wasn't governor. And you know what he wanted to do? He wanted to punch him. And so he says this in an hour-long interview on Howard Stern. He said that on Monday. Cuomo said Monday he took particular issue when Trump made what he viewed were anti-Italian slurs against his younger brother, Chris, the primetime CNN anchor who Trump regularly called Fredo. Here is a test, folks. Here's a test of what is and isn't reached the high levels of slur. Okay? In PC social justice warrior, in the PC social justice warrior universe. You know why? Because if Fredo who is a character in a movie, if Fredo was truly an anti-Italian slur, Yahoo wouldn't be printing it. It says it right here, Fredo, the hapless middle brother in The Godfather. So they're actually printing slurs, Yahoo headlines. If I wasn't governor of New York, I would have decked him, period. I mean, he was attacking me. He was attacking my family. He was anti-Italian. Very nasty thing. I don't think Trump... okay, for the critics of Trump, he's anti-everything. He's anti-this and everything bad that. That's how that goes. So, you can just say that. And then there's all the rebuttals that can be given. But Cuomo said he chooses to pull his punches with Republican presidents, and he tried to balance working with him. And that's what you're supposed to do, folks. Listen, you don't have to like everybody that you work with, but you have to work with them, all right? And you can't let political differences get in the way either. Going through what we're going through now. I said when we're doing the headlines, I have to read some of this political stuff, and then we just get into it quickly. Told y'all last episode, really didn't want to focus on political things right now because it's no fun. It's no fun. It's hard to be light with it when all these... I'm ready. I wish it was like July 2021 already. I'm ready to just give up 10 months of the year and go forward. All these people giving warnings. Who are these tough guys? Robert De Niro issues warning about the person Donald Trump may have inspired. You think, what kind of the gall? So here, 70 million people voted for Donald Trump. And I'm sure if you were to talk to somebody within that group, somebody may say he's inspiring. And then here's Robert De Niro, I guess, opining for some reason says here, the star warned of what Trump had set in motion over the last 4 years, fearing he might have inspired someone smarter than him to wreak even more chaos on the country, but in a more subtle way. Oh, yes. And Robert De Niro, of all people, would be the ones to know and to warn us about this. Hey, guys, Donald Trump, he may have inspired. Inspired who? Like, what kind of villain is he creating in his mind? It's insane. Okay? It's ridiculous as well. There's here on... We're going to get into where we're at. We're on 27 minutes. Perfect. We're almost 30 minutes. You know, actually, the first, 3 minutes of this session, folks, was technical difficulties. So I'm actually not 27 minutes in. We're more like 24 minutes in. We're going to find... here's one. Drake. People know who Drake is. The rapper. Drake's gross mac and cheese recipe is dividing the internet, so we tried it ourselves. Ooh, I'm interested because I buy the 50-cent HEB brand mac and cheese. Okay, you can buy the Velveeta, you can buy the Kraft, which is $1, and then you can buy the generic, which is HEB, the store I shop at here in Texas. And it's 50 cents. But you know what I do? I butter, a little milk, and then I put in some shredded cheese on top. It's pretty good for 50 cents. It says here, Drake had a birthday when he turned 34. And apparently he had a very strange plate of mac and cheese that was caught on some Instagram photo or something. So everyone wants to know, what is this? Here's a description of the dish, which contained capers, sun-dried tomatoes and raisins, turned heads on Sunday. Theories abounded, with Twitter users suggesting it was either a typo or a nod to a traditional Jewish casserole. Only one way or another, Drake couldn't have wanted raisins on his mac and cheese, right? Either way, we at the end or whatever. So we tossed out the hot bling jackets, queued up. Okay, so here's how you make Drake's mac and cheese with raisins, folks. Only here on Jamin's Daily. So we're going to try this. I may have to try this, and we'll eat some on the air. I don't know. If you think that's a funny thing to do, send me an email. Reply, send us a comment. Say, Jamin, make the dish, eat it on the next episode. I think I would have to make that happen. The first step to making a creation out there, you got to have the right tools. You know what this is? This is how... trying to find the right word on how the internet works. So here's Drake and they're talking about this mac and cheese thing that happened. And then they write this article about it. And then within the article, they're working in, sales, product placement. So you need a strainer, right? So here's a product placement for a strainer. It's so funny. Anyways, I don't think, at this point in my life, at 37 years old, I think I've probably been eating macaroni and cheese for over 30 years. And there comes a time in your life when you have to say, I like to try new things, but then at the same time, I know what I like. Right? So I'm not going to go try to find raisins to put in my mac and cheese when in most cases I don't even have raisins. Okay? My boys don't like them. I like to give them raisins because it's easy. It's an easy snack to give them. But they don't really eat them that much. They eat like 4 or 5 out of the little box that has probably 20. And then I eat them. And they're very high in sugar and they're not good for you. I'm sure someone's going to say they are good for you. But I don't know. I'll pass. Folks at home, thanks for joining me, Jamin, your host, on another episode of Jamin's Daily. I'm going to be doing these, again, the schedule. Every other day, new episode. Every other day, older episode uploaded to YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. We also upload it on Facebook. Multiple areas on wherever you find podcasts, folks. So tell your friends, like, share, comment, and stick with us, folks. As you'll see here on Jamin's Daily, we're going to continue to bring new content almost every day. We want to bring in guests. We're going to have guests. We're going to bring in overlays to do different types of segments. And it's all for you, for the audience. So I appreciate you spending time with us. Stick with us, because the best is yet to come.